Bump, bump,
bump,
bump,
bump,
bump.
bump.
Ring. Yeah, we got a halfway decent baby on a
Well,
Monday.
should we
won.
have lasers? Like, I know they won yesterday, but like because of what happened on Saturday, should
Hey,
lasers be allowed? I don't know the rules
we need
here.
to take what we can get at this
Yeah.
point. I think it's sort of,
We may never get them again.
we need to take what we
Just
can
for
get.
Kershaw. Just for Kershaw.
Welcome to the Blue Review presented by LAX. I am Marcus Grant, joined by Greg Bergman and Parker Bell. And today, glad to be joined by Matthew Moreno of Dodger Blue 1958. Matt, good to see you, man. How are things? How are you feeling after this weekend of Dodger baseball?
I mean, look, I know Greg was being critical there, but the Dodgers are undefeated since yesterday. So you can't let 1-0, Greg. Doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. I'm happy with the 1-0 because it's been a while.
It's
been a while.
It's been a while. The Dodgers do get a win on Sunday to, I don't even know if salvage is the right word, but to close out what was otherwise an awful road trip. They go 1-5 against two last place teams, getting swept by the Pirates, and then losing two in absolutely brutal fashion to the Baltimore Orioles before pulling one out yesterday. 5-2 the final score. Shohei a couple of home runs, Mookie a home run, a good outing for Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers get to come back home against those dreaded Rockies who beat them 2-4 in Denver. So we'll dive into that and more. But first, want to give a shout out to folks at LAX. As always, they are transforming the travel experience. They're saving guests time. People Mover Train, hopefully coming early next week. So, or next year, I should say, not next week. That'd be great too. But early next year. For more information, you can go to flylx.com/transforminglAX. Also, I saw that they're taking the big X off of the LAX sign out in front of the airport.
Why?
I don't know.
That's
good for headline reading and not actually clicking into the story. But I guess that's part of transforming the travel experience.
okay. Just LA.
So Greg, we always text each other during games, and after Friday, I was all set to just be angry. Saturday took it out of me, Greg. It was maybe the ultimate gut punch in a second half full of bad losses. Saturday felt like rock bottom, and it took all the wind out of me having a big rant on Monday, and then they win on Sunday. I've never seen anything worse than what happened on Saturday night at Camden Yards.
I don't think I have either, but that's exactly you were going to have a whole rant like lined up for today, and Saturday was just deflating. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that happen before. When you have a lead, maybe Matt, maybe you have, but I can't even think of one where when you're up 3-0, 8 2/3 of no hit ball, and then lose the game. Not just losing the no hitter. It's you lost the game 4-3. That was just absolutely pathetic. I don't know if there's another word for it. It almost feel like you give up at that point. Like, I don't know what else. There's nothing you can do. Every single thing that can go wrong is absolutely going wrong. And I feel so bad for Yamamoto. That was Andy Pius. Like, why didn't he even try for that ball? If anything, it would have been a double, and that doesn't mean anything. Just go up and try and grab it. Like, make an effort. That was so weird. Matt, did you see anything different?
No, I mean, I think there's two things with that. One, he wasn't going to make that catch. Like, nobody was making that catch, right? Like, MLB.
But you lay out for it for your guy.
Yes. You climb that wall, you stick your glove up, you throw your glove at it, and of course I'm exaggerating at that point, but you definitely make some sort of effort to at least show, hey, like, I recognize the moment, like I'm going to try and get this play, even though, it's going to land 8 feet beyond my reach type thing. So yeah, that's why I think two things can be true. He wasn't going to catch it, but you definitely go up and make every effort that you can to make that play for him, just understanding the circumstances.
Yeah, so Parker, here they are. They lose 5 of 6 on the road trip. They nearly get swept by two last place teams. I don't know where to begin with what went wrong. Here's the thing. I think for the most part, the starting pitching in Baltimore was good, right? Kershaw was good yesterday. I mean, Yamamoto was obviously amazing. You get Shohei coming out in an emergency start and giving you 3 2/3 really good innings, despite the circumstances. Parker just felt like it felt like offense and bullpen were the two things that really let them down this weekend.
I mean, first team in the expansion era, so that's 1961, to actually lose a no-hitter with 2 outs in the ninth while leading the game. So, yeah, Greg, you're right. We've never seen that before, ever. And the fact that we have to sit here and watch these inconsistencies build up to losses for this team, 5 in a row, obviously, it's just really, really tough to watch. And I'm happy that Kershaw Day was able to turn it around, but it is hard to feel like a little upbeat this morning, I think, after a weekend like that. Despite the starting pitching being great, it's just there's no way that I'm going to be like, yeah, feeling good after that weekend.
Greg, I was thinking it's usually fun when you see the Sarah Lang's wee charts, except when it's your team.
Oh yeah, that was probably the one that was way up here.
It was
way down there.
It was like the ultimate wee. Like it was not fun at all. So I know that Dave Roberts, people keep asking why is it that he keeps running Blake Trinan and Tanner Scott out there, and I know his answer has been because if we are going to be successful in October, if we are going to win another World Series, those guys have to show up and they have to perform. So they keep getting opportunities. But is there anybody, Greg, you feel comfortable with handling the last 3 outs in a ball game right now?
I mean, Jack Dreyer did it yesterday. Do I feel comfortable with Dreyer? No, still a rookie. And I didn't know who Jack Dreyer was until he made the 40-man, before he made the roster at the beginning of the season. So, he's been great this year. I really like the kid, and I think he's going to be very good. But no, there's nobody I trust. But Dave Roberts is right. You have to let Trinan keep going out there. Trinan had actually been pretty good, and he was pissed at himself after the game. Like you can't get 1 out. You can't get one. 1 out is all that you need to do. Not a little pop-up, not a strikeout, not, even a hard line out to right field. Whatever it happens to be, you got to get 1. And he wasn't able to do that. The whole thing was just so incredibly frustrating. And I'm starting to get angry now just thinking about it. Like all of a sudden my blood pressure is starting to rise. I think the coffee's hitting finally at 6:38 in the morning. But this can't happen. Those are the kind of things that just can't happen. And what makes it worse is that they had 10 hits in that game. Mm-hmm. They were actually hitting the ball, but they couldn't get any runs across. Like this, it's just bad all the way around. Parker, that's absolutely actually how it is.
It's true.
But I don't know who you go to in those situations. You have to keep going to these guys because if you want to do anything in the postseason, Trinan, Scott, Yates to an extent, and Kasperius, Dreyer, Vezia when he gets back, Kopech, they all need to be pitching at a high level.
Matthews, is there any hope for Tanner Scott? I mean, I know they keep trying things. Do you see any blue sky on the horizon with Tanner Scott?
I mean, it's definitely difficult to, right? And we try. I'm not somebody who necessarily will sit here and say, there's no chance for Tanner Scott to, find it for a month at a time. But we haven't seen it for 3 games in a row. We haven't seen it for 2 weeks. So there certainly is reason to be skeptical. I think at minimum, what needs to happen is you can't go to him in high leverage situations right now. If he's going to figure it out, let him do it in the 6th inning, in the 7th inning, when maybe, you have a comfortable lead, or the way things have been going for the Dodgers, maybe you're trailing a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think this year with Tanner, I don't want to call it a lost season, but it sort of is. And you try to salvage it and figure out where he could best fit in your bullpen. I think Dave Roberts is right. Like what you said, they are going to need him to a certain extent, though. I don't think they need him to be the closer. I know Blake Trinan was awful against the Orioles on Saturday, but before that, he'd had 8 or 9 scoreless appearances in a row. So he was sort of starting to find his legs a little bit. He's also missed a lot of the season. For me, that's where my confidence is in terms of closer. You let Trinan, hopefully, he can man that role. And then with Tanner Scott, I mean, it's kind of figure out a place to use him because they're not going to leave him off the roster.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. He's going to be on the playoff roster again. They need him in some capacity, whether that's as the 9th inning guy, which is seeming increasingly unlikely, or somewhere along the way, he's going to have to pitch some innings, likely in a relatively high leverage spot. So, hopefully they can figure some things out. Parker, I'm going to say this, and I know we talked about this last week as not being the cure-all, but Max Muncy and Alex Vesia are expected back today. This lineup has been night and day with Max Muncy in it versus Max Muncy out of it. Alex Vesia, before he got hurt, was still one of the better arms out of the bullpen. Is this the magic, pixie dust to get this thing turned around, get this team back going again with 19 games left?
Well, I just want to circle back real quick to what Matt said there, and I think that it's great. What we need from Trinan, from Scott, from all these guys in the back end of the bullpen who are blowing games are to pull a Mookie. Because, Matt, you said it. It's basically a lost season at this point for them. Why don't you just admit it? Hey, I blew it this season. I'm just going to do what I can to help the team. Because ever since Mookie said that, he's Mookie of normal.
He's been great.
So,
yeah.
Blake, if you guys are listening, just go ahead and admit your season's over.
Of course,
you can help the Dodgers win still. But yeah, I think Muncy's going to make a big impact. We've been talking about it all year on the Blue Review. He's essentially the MVP of this team in terms of how he drives the lineup and how he just adds so much optionality to how pitchers have to look at this lineup. Whether we see guys like Edmund and stuff make an impact or not, that'll be yet to see. We got to actually get, visual confirmation. But I'm big on Vesia. I think Vesia coming back, his energy is something that back end of the bullpen need. The dogs that we had last year, Vesia is the kind of guy who drives that type of stuff. So I'm big on that, Greg. I mean, I know Vesia was once your villain, and now he's really turned things around, and he's one of the top guys.
Yeah, he hasn't been a villain of mine for over a year now.
Yeah.
But do you have any update, Matt, on Tommy Edman? Is he's supposed to be back this week?
He will be during the homestand. So my guess, I think he played Sunday with OKC still. So my guess is they have him off. He's not coming back today. I know that. So my guess is he'll be off today and then activated on Tuesday. Perhaps, I guess Wednesday. Definitely by Wednesday is what it seems like.
Okay, so then that means that we're in a situation where if all the three of those guys come back, that's the healthiest the Dodgers have been all year long. This is the first time in maybe since the beginning of the season that everybody is there.
Yeah. Well, there's Will Smith's hand issue. Glasnow's back, even though they're saying it's not anything.
Well, he's supposed to pitch tonight, right?
I don't know if he's going tonight.
It's still TBD. I think the speculation is that he would go tonight if everything's okay. Remember, Greg, this is Tyler Glasnow we're talking about.
Right, it is. But if they are all back, and I don't know how long Smith's going to be out. I just want him to be healthy. He's not as bad. He said it was just a bruise, right? It's not.
Yeah, I think
he's going to have to play through the season with it. Yeah.
The concern there is, he's not going to be like it's going to linger, and then obviously, Dalton Rushing smoked that ball off his shin, so he's in a little bit of pain.
Right. So, but this is the healthiest when Will's now. Every time I think to myself, healthy. Okay, now it's when Will Smith comes back, when Max Muncy comes back, when Tommy Edman and Alex Vesia and Michael Kopech and whoever the hell it has to be. This is over and over again. Is this a snake bitten year, or is it just kind of like this is just a year?
I think it's just. I think there's a little bit of a snake bitten year. I mean, I think because when you see, you see Muncy go down twice, when you see losing both catchers in the span of 3 days, 2-3 days, whatever it was, when you're forced to start Ben Rortvedt, who, by the way, had a hit yesterday. So shout out to Ben Rortvedt.
Couple sack bunts.
No-hitter.
Had a couple sack bunts. He had a hit yesterday. So, I'm not going to knock it. But I think there's a little bit of a snake bit element to it. That doesn't explain nor excuse just the general malaise around this team since the All-Star break. The fact that, since July 4th, they are 23-31, something like that. They are well below 500 since Independence Day. That can't be blamed on injuries. You still have talent up and down this lineup that's just not performing. So that's the thing that they kind of got to figure out more than anything else. And Parker, maybe you're right. Maybe they just have to say, F it. This is a lost season. Let's just go out there and see what we can do, which is a weird thing to say for a team that still has a 1-game lead in the division.
Mm-hmm. That 1-game lead should be 15.
It should.
Frustrating.
Here's the thing. It could be 15. They could be 8 games back. I mean, it could be either way.
True.
If the Padres weren't sitting around pooping the bed either on a regular basis, it could be completely the other way. So I don't know at this point. All right, we got a few minutes left before we get out of here. The Rockies are in town for 3 games.
Another last place team.
But Matt, we saw the Rockies win 2 of 4 from the Dodgers in Denver. It's Chase Dollander tonight. He of the 2-12 record with the 6.77 ERA. Greg is face palming because, I mean, you know this. That seems like the kiss of death for this Dodger lineup. Matt, your expectations tonight after what we've seen for the last week, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could give you what I don't know what to expect from this team, because I think the only thing we've seen throughout the year is that they're consistently inconsistent. You would hope that, as you mentioned, salvaging is even, a bit much for what they did yesterday, winning the 1 game on their road trip. But perhaps it is the start of a little bit of a springboard, the Rockies being here. You definitely need to take at least 2 out of 3. I feel almost inclined to say, like, you have to sweep the Rockies at this point, just given the state of everything. Tonight specifically, I really could see it going either way, and I'm not trying to skirt your question by any means. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to predict with this team. I thought, definitely by September, by late August, they would have gotten on an upswing and found their way, and it hasn't happened yet. And so, would I be shocked if they were to come back home and lose the first game? No, like we've seen it with not just the Dodgers, but other teams in the past, right? Like, you're on the road trip for a week, you come home. That's usually like not a trap game, but kind of like a game where, okay, they drop it, they're just getting back home, and then they find their way after that. But I mean, that's not really a position that they can afford right now.
No, and I think your answer, I don't think it was a dodge. I think it was the honest one, because I think if I had asked Greg or Parker, I think it would have kind of been the same thing. Like, nobody knows what to expect from this team on a nightly basis, and it feels like in the past that, they would get a win like on Sunday and we'd think, okay, well, maybe this is the start of something. And I feel like we've all come in this morning and been like, hey, they got to win. It was better than losing, but nobody knows what's next with this group. So we will see. Anyway,
I'm totally sorry. I'm totally with Matt. You have to win.
You have to win.
I think a sweep is kind of, for their psyche, is kind of necessary, but it's always going to be, because you still have a lead, because of what you just have to win every single series from now on. But this one does have that feeling like we got a sweep.
Yeah,
it's just in the air.
Yeah. So 3 at home against the Rockies. That starts tonight. Then they hit the road for 3 in San Francisco, which, forget the records. That's just never going to be an easy trip going up there to take on the Giants at Oracle Park. So Chase Dollander against TBD, who is making yet another start this year. He seems to pitch for every team in the league. I can't really figure it out. Matt, tell folks what you guys got going over there at Dodger Blue.
Yeah, just we're doing live shows Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, sometimes some emergency ones like we did on Friday and Saturday, because those were just brutal games and people wanted to vent. So you could find us on YouTube, Dodger Blue 1958, and if you want to read, DodgerBlue.com.
Absolutely. So looking forward to that. Always good to talk to you and to Jeff and everybody over there at Dodger Blue for sure. So that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. Appreciate everybody in the chat. We're always so thankful that you guys have decided to wake up early with us. So we're not the only ones here bleary-eyed sipping coffee on a weekday morning. So thank you for that as well. Thank you to LAX. Stick around here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel for the Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza. I don't know if that's what you guys call it, but that's what I call it, because it's like
you can call it whatever you'd like.
It's a cavalcade of fun, like for several hours across the radio and the internet. So be sure to check that out as well. Back with you here tomorrow, 6:30 to 6:50 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel, wrapping up whatever is going to happen at Chavez Ravine tonight. We will see you then, everybody. Take care.
See you.
Thanks, Matt.